Walnut Beach. It's Ocean Shores, Washington State. Here's my little pass that I had. It was very well put on. Summit Sasquatch. What do you call it? Like a Sasquatch Bigfoot conference, I guess you would call it. Hopefully the audio is really good. I'm trying this device today. Like to see if somebody can pop up here when you guys start propagating. To hear how good the audio is, or even if the thing is working or not, I don't know. So I do pretty good technology wise. I do pretty well. I do my own post production, and I do pretty good on social media and all that kind of stuff. I understand it really well. And hello, nobody special. Can you hear me well? Even ABCD check. I can't. I'm just gonna talk loud, and I'm gonna keep this on. Hopefully, the audio is really good, so we can hear fine. Todd, thank you, Snooks. Thank you very much, guys, for telling me that. So yeah, the summit went really well. I love the way I do my presentations. Some people from some network guys were there to come and watch me speak, and they talked to me after and asked me. Even a couple of the presenters asked me what my presentation was. I don't have a presentation, guys. I just walk up in front and I start talking. I'll show some videos. Um, Paul Freeman, Michael Paul Freeman, which is Paul Freeman's son, was there. I enjoyed his presentation, and there was another lady, Judy, that I really enjoyed their presentation. What sucks, what's really unfortunate about the Sasquatch community, there's not really that much community. There's not a lot of cooperation between people, and I watched other presentators, and I went and tried to talk to them after if they didn't bail out on me quick, and I noticed it's really not cooperative at all. Out of I don't know how many presenters there were. I was the keynote speaker at the end. Must have been at least six other people that talked, and I went out of my way to talk to Paul Freeman's son, Michael Freeman. But if I didn't go out of my way to speak to him, I don't know if that would have happened. And we had a good conversation and all. And then it seemed that maybe I'm mistaken, so I shouldn't say anything. I don't know if he stayed for my presentation. I'm not sure. So I certainly didn't see much for other presenters there watching my presentation like I watched most of theirs, if not all of theirs. So I I am still doing business and talking with people. That's mostly what I'm there for, and it went well. To all you people that I met out there, it was so wonderful meeting you all. Thank you so much for your support. I really love to do my presentation. I love to try to scare myself in the presentation. In that, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? And I did show some new stuff. So my documentaries, uh, handed off or getting handed off to Warner Brothers and Netflix and Amazon, and it's Warner Brothers that's distributing it. So it's handed off. It's getting handed off to them in that piece by piece because I still have to do. They want me to cut things and edit it, and I'm the guy that really has to get that done. So, but I showed a little segment. Even I'll tell you. So the segment that I showed, literally, I just love this spot. Is I gave a little background about how this one particular Sasquatch is just. I'd literally put up apples, and as soon as I was out of sight, boom, he would take them. And when I put up the apples, there was at least three of them again, booming around, making sounds. I could see shadows of them moving off in the distance. As soon as I would walk away and be out of sight of those apples, you hear like tremendous ruckus booming over there, and they'd snag them, and then you hear booming off. And I'm talking like I'd leave three apples, two apples. Then I had one apple that I had to defend with my camera, and I got some footage, thankfully. But the shot that I put on was really cool. You know how people turn and do selfies? I literally go, so I'm going to stand off about 150 yards away from a Sasquatch, and I only have 20 times optical zoom on my camera. It's daytime, but he's in the shadows. You can see his head, and with my eyes, I could see like the blinking. He's not moving; he's looking at me, and the camera doesn't pick it up very well because again, he's in a shadow. But I literally turn the camera and I go, "Who's ever done this before?" And I do a selfie where I go, "Look behind me. See that little figure?" And my finger points up to where it is. That's a Sasquatch. Let's go say hi. And I go jogging over to him, which uh, didn't turn out really, really well. Obviously, he just moved off. He was in an enormous tree that was kind of a standalone, gigantic pine needle leaf tree. And I'm not sure about the species because I was in Northern California. I'm not tremendously familiar with the ecology there. But yeah, he backed off, and behind them there's tracks in the ground, and it was a wonderful little incident that had transpired, and it was amazing. So, and then there's a video that I'm gonna make. Oh my God, guys, some real next woo woo level stuff going on. I literally, so a man named Scott from Ocean Shores that I met. There was a couple really amazing people I got to meet, but I actually got to go out to Scott's place where he believes there are Sasquatch. He believes. I don't think. No, he doesn't believe. He knew they were Sasquatch. He didn't know how prolific they were until my colleagues and I. So I went out with my mentors, Larry and Analia, and an elder from Nia Bay, friend of mine, colleague Brian, who's a native elder from of Macaw native elder. We went out there and found all this evidence and stuff. But I'll tell you, this is amazing. They literally left half an X set up. They set up half an X for me to come and finish it. And the way it happened was absolutely astonishing. The stuff that's going on, like, there's no doubt about mind speak anymore. There's no doubt they were in my head. There's no doubt that they wanted that to transpire. Imagine building half an X, like an intricate, beautiful X. You have a plan for it. So one part of the X is there, and then I come along and I feel this inspiration, profound inspiration. I pick up this stick that's been jammed on the ground, and I know a Sasquatch is, and I can feel it. I pick it up and I show the people how this has definitively been jammed into the ground at an angle by a Sasquatch. I'm not going to pick any bones about it. And I pick it up, and they look at me, and I go, "You're supposed to do this." And I shove it in, and it completes this perfect X up on the tree. It's like 12 feet in the air. Perfect X. Like, I put it in, and I filmed it all. And they're just standing there going, "Did that just happen?" Literally, this is how amazing the Sasquatch are. According to the evidence that I have eyewitnessed with literally dozens of other people, they literally knew I was coming. I've seen them do this dozens of times now. Like, not just with me, but other people. They knew other people were coming. I've seen this so many times. They prepare for them, and they leave a little game for us to complete, a little puzzle for us to finish. And I've seen it so many times, I just can't be in denial of it anymore. And that's exactly what happened. And you'll see the video. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to put up on YouTube for all to watch. So there's just such next level stuff going on here, guys. Like, it is just absolutely outstanding. When you get out into the field with me or my people, and even if you can do it on your own and really get that mind speak, get that spirituality, get that connection in nature, your life is going to change. You're just going to experience miracle after miracle. Like, my life is just absolutely astonishing. And I promise you that I'm going to do everything I can to teach you guys. Like, my expeditions are healthy food, connecting in nature, ice bathing, meditation, exercise, breath work. Like, we all these things. Now I'm earthing equipment. I'm getting, thanks to Ashley, infrared lights, you know, to penetrate and help. Like, I'm literally doing everything I can in every way. And I want you all to jump on board with this, with my physical health and wellness, spiritual health and wellness. It goes emotional health and wellness, uh, emotional, mental, and sexual. All those things. Like, I'm just lit up, moving all those things forward. We're gonna have to start being comfortable about all these subjects, talking about men's mental, emotional health, talking about the importance of your life force energy. Yes, what's the importance of sexual health? Well, we're all here because of sexual health. Do you understand that? That's your life force energy. That's how you flow into the future. You don't have sexual health and life force energy, then you don't flow. You don't get your species. Your genetics die, right? And it's so important. And you hear it in the Viking lore. Don't fall before your place is taken. And I mean, it changes your life having that even connecting and having a wonderful partner to grow with, and making sure that those things are clear with you. It's I got to stop not being comfortable about certain topics, because it all matters, guys. If any one of those five things are down, it drags the others down. Do you understand that? Like, who, I don't know the genius that called us humans. Hue is light, and man is a manifestation. We are manifestations of light. And I don't know what genius came up with those five important things, but they are essential. Like, you cannot ascend, you cannot grow, you cannot expand unless you're working on all five of those things. So what I mentor is for sure, like, and I can help you with is the physical and spiritual are really huge for me. I'm an athlete. I train. I mean, for God's sake, I'm drinking coconut milk and a special kind of animal's protein here as my beverage. Filtered water, cleaning my pineal gland, the incredible different supplements and stuff. Look at this. This is gosh, it's like a it's a mineral. It's a black mineral. You can't taste this. I just put this in my water. Ashley gets me this, and it cleanses and cleans your blood. My son's on She Legit. I take 7 vitamins a day, and tinctures, and I'm just like so obsessed with my health and my physical health and my physical fitness because I know that that's what it takes for this discovery, guys. I'm going to have to be everything at my highest level to ascend, and I want you all to come on that journey with me so much. So I'm really going to, and I'm starting to turn into more of this Tony Robbins kind of guru on expeditions, like even Sasquatch Odyssey that came out with me this year. He was kind of the straw had already broken the camel's back. I'm telling you, people come out with me and it's like, these expeditions are nothing like I thought. They're not. They're nothing like you think. I'm out there. I'm working with you. I'm connecting you to nature. I'm being transparent and open with myself, so you can reflect that back to me. I want to teach you guys how to thrive and expand up to a new level. And I'm just gonna say it, like everybody who came out goes back with a new understanding. Not so much about me. That doesn't matter. What matters is understanding of themselves, and I'm going to push growth, and it's changing. It's going to change the whole world, guys. Who knew that the discovery of this incredible being, I don't want to call them a species because I just want to have such respect for them. This incredible species is was going to be this important. It literally is. It's that important. And that's probably why, if not all of you, at least probably most of you, are so inspired and intrigued by this discovery. Because the truth is, guys, the reason that we haven't finished this discovery is we're not ready to ascend to that level yet. You literally can't put yourself on a frequency where you don't belong. And Sasquatch are at such a high frequency, you will discover them. Everybody discovers it. Everybody who discovers a Sasquatch, it's because they were ready to ascend to that frequency. And then they see the Sasquatch, and then they have to. And now that next test comes is what's going to happen when you're ridiculed and mocked by those who who are going to be jealous and negative and treat you poorly because they can't have that experience. They can't see the truth. They can't see the forest people through the trees, right? Which is Sabe. So I love this photograph of Kubota. So all those of you that have been watching the show for so long, I'm so grateful that you're all on board, and you've seen significant changes in me, the growth in this discovery process. And it's amazing, and this is what it's going to take to ascend to the next level. So I'll start answering some questions. um, Audio good. Hi, Todd. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you in the U.S. Canada, we already had ours. Howdy. Hello, DNR. Todd, recent Bigfoot sighting in Connecticut. That is awesome. If you could send that to me at how about Bigfoot encounter at gmail.com. Need to get some more emails there, guys. Why do you think that is? What do you think? What is the recent encounter? Where was it? Okay, so hey, Brian, you made it home. I see. Yes, I did. Good deal. Had a blast at the summit. More fun out at Sharky's property. Wasn't that cool? So Brian is the macaw elder that I told you about that came with me. Sharky's property is Scott. So yeah, it was so amazing, right? It's like so spectacular. I'm so grateful that you all came with me too. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful time we had. It was so great. Hey Todd, I know you said how Sasquatch don't have a breeding season, but would they be wise to time it where they have their offspring in the springtime rather than the winter and fall? Well, how do I put this? Absolutely yes. Like 100% yes. These beings are literally like they're just nothing but respect for the term animal. But when you refer to humans, just the connotation behind it is, look at those animals. Look at why are you acting like such an animal. There's a negative connotation behind it, which there shouldn't be, but there is. These beings are highly, highly evolved, intelligent, and developed. I'm just seeing them do stuff, guys. Like it's just It's ridiculous how unreal, spectacular, intelligent they are. So even though I have no evidence of this, I'm just gonna say based on what I've seen from them and how brilliant they are, absolutely. I think it's going to be very deep. When a child's coming, I think they're going to have a great knowledge and understanding of the child, when the child should be conceived. You know, like it's just going to be so amazing. And you got to understand, guys, like these these Sabe has done things, and I've seen them do things that are just like so woo woo. You know, Jason shoots up uh, in my research area, and he's got a bad knee. His knee's all hurting so badly, and a Sasquatch puts her hand on his head and cleans him, and the pain goes away. You know, like the you know the stuff they do is just, it's absolutely incredible. So they're gonna have, it's way beyond that, way beyond that. They're gonna know male, female. Like there's gonna be a spiritual understanding. I don't, there's it's gonna be some next level stuff beyond what people could even understand. And so at the minimal, I'm gonna say hell yeah, right? Hell yeah. Hi Todd, I've really enjoyed your last few videos. Glad Washington went well. Thank you, Julia. Once it was spectacular. I love it. What up, Todd? Hello, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you've got a picture of Art Bell. Do you know I was friends with Art Bell up until his passing? So Big Steve enjoy watching. Big Stevie enjoys watching. Hello, Steve. That's from Robert. Hey Todd, hello Carlos, happy holidays. Thank you, Thomas. Welcome, Boom people. Hello, Boom. Sasquatch are the boom. I remember seeing that huge Sasquatch that had its back to you at night. And I did a video about that, guys. Just about, oh my god. It was almost night. It wasn't quite night. The sun was going down. But you need to know that because there was significant light still. Because that camera for low light was crap. I mean, it was crap. It was so bad. Like back, that's back in like 2004 or something. The cameras were so bad for low light. I was still using DV tape, and the 1080 was only interlaced, so there was no 1080p. So if you paused on anything, it was a split frame. So, and I don't know. I think I might have filmed that in 480p just because I knew 1080p was split framing. In fact, it must have been, even though I had a 1080p a 1080 interlacing camera, I filmed it in 480p because I was smart enough to know, because I everything you see, like those still frames, they're not interlaced. They'd be higher quality in 1080p, but there's no particular one frame if you can understand that. So it was a good decision, and I certainly don't regret that. Hi Todd, Christy here from Scotland. Got a message from a guy that goes out looking for Bigfoot in Scottish forests. Going to send me his evidence, tree break structures, etc. I'm excited to see what he has. And you know, I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell there's Sasquatch in Scotland. And yet, there's two English colleagues that I took out, father and son combo this year, and they're very intelligent people, really down to earth, and they strongly believe there is. So I don't know. So, and then I had a colleague that worked with us for years, Amanda. She's like, there's no way in hell there's Sasquatch up there. And then there was a sighting in years ago that was very publicized. The BBC called me, and then I talked to Scotland Yard about a sighting, and it was bogus, totally bogus. Everybody thought, the BBC thought, and Scotland Yard thought I was going to be, oh, look at Sasquatch, Sasquatch, and I was like, clearly that is not Sasquatch. I'm going to show you and tell you why. So many things that were not Sasquatch. And what was exciting is Scotland Yard invited me to come down, and the BBC was going to do a story about it, but COVID happened right after that, so that never precipitated. But and then I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I mean, I'm giving you my opinion, and if you think there are Sasquatch in Scotland, then you know what you know. Like, I've never been there. What the who? I'm literally talking out of my butt. So this is my opinion based on the most horrifically superficial knowledge. You know what the number one thing though is? There's no history of it. That's what it is. When I went to Sweden and they started telling me about Bigfoot, and I went there and no signs of Bigfoot, no signs of Sasquatch. This is what put me over. The Swedish people loved me after I said this, and the reality came out is the Vikings, who Swedish, everybody up in Norway, Switzerland, Sweden, that's Viking territory. They love their Viking history. My God, they love it. Viking. They're so proud of their heritage. The Vikings never talked about Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And those maniacs were berserk crazy in the wilderness. They went everywhere. They were monstrous. And if there would have been Sasquatch, there'd be lore about it, there'd be history. I know there was one thing, but I just don't buy it. There was some kind of weird creature. It just sounded like a man. There was one case. The Vikings would know. So this is what I said to the Swedish News. If the Vikings didn't know it, I'm not even going to go looking. Those are your indigenous. And they never saw a Sasquatch. They have no history of it. They'd be all over the place. The Vikings would have been maybe fighting them. They were maniacs, right? They were so tough. But that never happened. No history of it. And I feel the same way about England. Where's the history? Where's the back? Because if you come here to Canada or the US, the indigenous have a ridiculous history of it. In fact, Leif Erikson, who came to Canada, I think it was Newfoundland, he saw a Sasquatch. He didn't know nothing about it. The fearless maniac, awesome dude that he was, he backed away because he didn't know anything about it. Scared the hell out of him, I think. So that's the reality of it, is if there's no history, if they haven't been there, why would they just suddenly show up? So that's really what I base my opinion on, and it is just opinion. Hello from the United Kingdom. Keep us posted, Christy. Thank you. I agree. Paul, thanks for everything you do. Paul says, thanks for everything you do. Discovering Sasquatch, really, you're the man. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Paul. We really care. Oh, man, do we care, right? Like, we care so much. So happy Thanksgiving, Julie. Everybody saying hi. Please subscribe if you'd like. 420 videos. Don't say that. 420. There's 420. We'll get up to 430 real quick. I'll pump in 10 videos real quick just so we get away from 420. There's a lot of videos. When the fires affected your recent expedition in the search area, did you see the Sasquatch moving to escape the fire? Absolutely not. You're not going to get a Sasquatch in a fire. I'll tell you something. Forest fires, even though I never mentioned this, but I'm going to release this publicly right now. I know Fish and Wildlife. I know the wildlife forestry set those fires. 100%. I got drone footage of it happening. Like, they set those fires. No way those fires happen naturally. They came and questioned me. Drove down to my research area after the fires were started and gave me a warning about it. And I said to them, oh, you're telling me to be careful and not set fires up for the fire that you guys set. And they go, what do you mean we set that fire? And I go, bro, 2 plumes, trucks up there. You guys set that fire. I go, oh, no, we didn't. And they look at each other. What makes you say that? Drone footage, buddy. I put my drone up in the air and I got all the evidence I need. That was a set fire. Literally, even just without knowing there were forestry trucks up there when nobody's up there, and knowing all the backstory, they had a million reasons to set that fire and do it on purpose. The odds of that fire having been set the way it was, with 2 different sections, and then they went together into the wind with no people up there, the odds of that are like 1 in a trillion. Whatever. And it was exactly like, come on, that fire was set by those people. So I don't trust them. It's awful, but I really have to say I can't trust Fish and Wildlife anymore because they lied. The upper echelon are lying. They're burning it out because the pine beetle are in there, and they're trying to get that fire to burn over across because the pine beetle are costing forestry and logging companies millions of dollars. So set a fire with the proper wind gauge to burn out the pine beetle. It didn't work. And I'll tell you something. When that fire was going, and as it went into pine beetle territory, they're like, let it go, let it go, let it go. The minute it came down to the road and went into areas that are going to be logged in the next couple of years, guess what? They were there to stop it. How convenient. It can go over there into the pine beetle we want to burn out. But if it comes down here into the money, oh, we're stopping it. And they had a plan, and they did. They stopped that damn thing when it came down the wrong direction. How convenient. But anyway, it is what it is. The Sasquatch, but my point is, long story short, too late, is that forest fires are very natural. They're so natural. Some plants won't grow unless there's forest fires, and they have to when they log, they have to replant like there was a forest fire by heating up pine cones so they crack open and start growing. There's a very difficult process based on forest fires, because forest fires are nature. They're nature's natural way. They're real. You're not going to get a Sasquatch in a forest fire. Holy crap. The only reason I got my ass out of there, we weren't really in any danger. We were never going to get harmed. There's not a forest fire that's going to catch my ass. Like, it's not going to happen. Not in a million years. I would move off. Like, there's just no chance of it. but we would be blocked in, and I don't want to be like backcountry moving around evading a fire on expedition. There's only one road out, and I got to take that road out, and the expeditioners were concerned for their safety, and rightly so. So we got out safely, and but forest fires are natural, and Sasquatch is not going to get caught in a forest fire. That's why I question, knowing what I know about forest fires, and I'm not the teacher. The Sasquatch are the teachers. I'm never going to get caught and burned in a forest fire. So there's no chance a Sasquatch would ever do that. And the stories that lead up to a Sasquatch were burned out and stuff, I don't buy it for 2 seconds. They're way too smart for that. Way too smart. Thank you. Someday, hopefully, someone will, AKA someone, Department of Government, tell them the truth. So many people in the government already know. And they're going to be whistleblowers and stuff that come out eventually. I already know. Thanks again. You're welcome, Jelly. It must be your vibration that you give off. Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. Christine, Sasquatch and all cryptids are much smarter than any human. Thank you for your perspective, Christine. Trevor, 100%. Hello from Florida. Hello, Laura. Thank you for tuning in. I am a full-time researcher. If you want to support the cause, there's the link for discoveringbigfoot.org where you can make a monthly donation if you can easily afford it only, or you can go to Patreon and make a monthly donation if you really care about this, because this is all I do. I'm a full-time Sasquatch researcher. And you better understand that, I make a living doing this, but when tremendous abundance flows my way, it just goes back into the research. And I'm very happy to do that. I'll tell you something that Paul Freeman, so Paul Freeman's son, talked about a lot. There's a lot of resentment because his dad was so obsessed with Sasquatch, and it damaged his family. It did damage to his life. At least that's what I got from part of his story. And he won't do that. He's got a son and a wife, and they work hard. So he's not going to do Sasquatch research like his dad, because he thinks his dad set a bad example because of the obsession. I have an obsession with Sasquatch, very, very much so. Fortunately for me, unlike Paul Friedman, it makes for a better life with my family. I believe I know being a Sasquatch researcher makes me a better father. It helps me have better relationships with my children, so and my children will grow up right now. Like I have a 14-year-old. If I put him on here, he would say, I love that my dad's a Sasquatch researcher. I love what he does. I support his work. I'm proud of him. And because there's a lot of lessons to be learned with this, like as difficult as this discovery process is, I will never quit. Somebody just asked me that today, you think you'll still be doing expeditions for the next couple of years? Oh man, I will never stop. I could be in a wheelchair at 95 years old, and my young men and women that come up underneath me will wheel me out there, and I'll sit my ass at the fire. I will never stop. Never. I will teach people. I will expand this knowledge out to the world. I will share. I will be transparent and open, and I will never ever stop. Not now. There's no stopping me now, and it's very much thanks to your support. So I tell you all, deep heartfelt gratitude for you supporting this research and my work specifically. It means a lot to me. So keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, Gary. We know the truth and stand with you, and I really feel that, my friend. Question from Citizen Scientist. Can you describe the primal fear that occurred, what that felt like during the time alone at night with the Sasquatch? Thank you. He's talking about the flare, the screaming thing, I'm sure. I don't. Okay, in my voice, I sound terrified. Survivor Man called it a panic attack. I disagree. A lot of what I was doing was putting on an act to try to just scare off the Sasquatch. So what I was is I was goddamn exhausted, tired, cranky as hell, because I hadn't slept in 7 days, more than 2 hours a night. Those last 2 days, they were harassing me every night. I couldn't sleep 5 minutes. They'd be on me. No, that's not true. I think I slept 30 minutes once. They were on me, banging the trees, shaking it, starving, cranky from not sleep, exhausted physically, beaten, bruised, bloodied. Oh man, I was a mess. So you can't. It's not primal fear. It's just being in that state, and there's a name for that too. Exposure. So I was suffering from the point of, so exposure is a state your body goes into in an emergency where you can die from it. A couple times when I came out from expedition, I do mean twice, I was hospitalized for exposure. You become, even if it's not terribly cold out, like I'm dealing with, barely sub-zero temperatures, I had hypothermia. I couldn't generate heat in my body. There's no food to generate heat. I'm cold. I'm exhausted. My muscles are. I'm consuming my own muscles. It's so unhealthy. Not getting proper sleep. You're cranky. So I have since then experienced primal fear, but that was not a night that I experienced it. In fact, I'd never experienced panic. I never had a panic attack kind of thing until many years later. Back then, when I was younger, I was really, I don't know how to put, I was kind of fearless. Like I wasn't afraid to do things. If there was anything crazy to do, I put my hand up there. I was a bit of an adrenaline junkie, and I had no respect for my life, to be honest. I was going to be super happy to throw myself in front of a bus to save somebody. It's kind of a mentality I had. So I was, even as a doorman in nightclubs, I would do that. As a lifeguard, I would do that. As a paramedic, I would do that. So um, yeah, I just had a strange mentality that I don't have anymore. I used to even stand off against a bear and go, let's fight, let's see who wins this. And I don't think that anymore. It's a bad way. It's a bad mentality. It's young and foolish. I'm wise now. If I stand off against a bear now, I tell him, I'll take your life. But if you just move off, I'm going home to my family. I'm going home to my family one way or another. So I'm either taking your life or you're going to walk away, and I'm going to walk away. And I will. And the bear looks at me and goes, you'll take my life. I go, I will end you. You will not survive. I give you respect. I know you're very strong and powerful. I don't want to be involved in an altercation. This is your home, and I'm going to give you the road. But if you look at me sideways, and if you come to stalk and take my life, then it won't happen. I am above you in this ecology. I'm above everything except Sasquatch out in the wilderness. Everything. I am second to apex, and you have to walk around with that respect. It'll keep you alive or not. So it's very important. Hello from East Texas. Hello, East Texas. So um, that's why we come week after week. Thank you so much, Trevor. I appreciate it. You will never get one, bud. Never. Is that a negative comment? You will never get one, bud? Never get one? What do you mean? Like shoot one? Yeah, I agree with you. I'll never shoot one. Never get a video. Already have like 9, 10, 12 videos. So I'm gonna get one of those. So I think it's a pretty fair bet to never say never to me, to don't tell me I can't. I'm gonna tell you something. After I got video 2 and video 3, people told me I can't ever get a facial. Then I got a facial. Oh, you can't get another facial. Oh, then on and on and on and on and on. I can and I will. And there is no never with me. I will succeed. You can't beat somebody who never quits. And I'm actually even going to tell you, I've already won. It's just going to happen. So it's just a matter of time. I've already discovered Bigfoot. I really have. And Ashley's discovered Bigfoot, and Matt's discovered Bigfoot, and Bob's discovered Bigfoot, and Darren and James and Jason. We've all made the discovery. So I'm here to expand it. I got news for you all. The discovery's happened. I know Sasquatch is real. I know it. I do. And many of you who know me, even from this show, you know, you're here. I hear it all the time. You know I'm telling the truth. And congratulations to you. The discovery's happened, and we're just moving it forward. The discovery process is moving forward, and that's it. So there's no never, is there? We've already won. The discovery's happened. I've seen Bigfoot this year. I witnessed them. I've been close to them. They're speaking to me. They're giving me incredible, profound messages. And I'll tell you guys something I want to mention. I may have mentioned it a couple times before. What happened this year was so next level, so personal, that I'm not even able to talk about it right now. That's how awesome this year was. Don't you dare think like I do not have new footage. I got no footage of a Sasquatch, and the thermal drone was unsuccessful. I have no thermal footage of a Sasquatch that's of any significance. I might have a Sasquatch in a tree, but it's not going to be worth too much. It's not valuable. So, but the discovery leaped forward. I learned my lessons. Sabe smashed me with lessons that I absolutely had, and it's just been so personal. Like it's been such a paradigm shift in me that I have to. I'm not. It would be irresponsible for me to be discussing it publicly because now I have to move forward based on this new information and go push this discovery to the next level. So no different than tree breaks, tree structures, the triangle leaning trees. It took me years before I would start talking about that stuff publicly because I need to I need to acquire more evidence and a mastery of a topic before I can start talking about it, in which time we're teaching it. And I feel so much in my infancy from the new information I was given this year and the new knowledge that I was exposed to. I'm not ready to talk about it. That's how powerful it was. That's how much I had an incredible paradigm shift, and I'm very grateful for that. And even I remember a couple of times, I think at the Sasquatch Summit, a couple times I've said this mistakenly. I said, I may never be able to discuss this, and that's not true. I used to say that about so many things. There's video footage I was never going to show. That leg thing where the Sasquatch saved my life, I said I would never talk about that, ever. And not talk about it frequently, because it's important information that helps this discovery move forward. It's vitally important people understand what I've been through and the experiences that I've had, and for all of us to grow and to be transparent and tell the truth. So important. So I'm just not ready to talk about some things right now. But the reason I'm telling you this is I want you to know that Todd Standing had an extreme paradigm shift. It was life changing. It was one of the most powerful things ever happened to me in my whole life. And that's how hard I was hit this year. That didn't happen last year so much. I had an amazing year and major changes, but this year just it's so powerful. Like my heart was just shook. So I'm very excited to move forward with this new journey, and we are expanding, ladies and gentlemen. We are growing. How surprised are any of you going to be when we explode? With some top YouTuber, podcaster, or something like that's going to happen. So, um, yeah, it's going to happen. Do Sasquatch have a sense of humor? Have you experienced them playing with you and laughing? I've talked about a couple different things. But I'm not again. Sorry, guys. I talk so much about Sasquatch so many times. I don't remember if I said this in the live show or not. So I'll talk about it. So this year, I realized that they're. Um, I know they're spiritually and physically far superior to humans. It's just a fact. They're much stronger, faster. In spirituality, in mind speak, they're devastatingly powerful. Like the things I've experienced are mind blowing. They can remote speak, remote view. Uh, I don't know how amazing they are, but I know it's spectacular. And what I experienced this year, I'm just going to talk about it quickly, is the humor. Is there was a lady that was on expedition with me that had a hat on that was just kind of a bigger hat, and she was walking, kind of gingerly. She's a big city girl, and she was just loving it out there. But the Sasquatch thought that was funny. So as I was moving off into a particular area in the wilderness, I saw the Sasquatch looking at her from the wilderness. So I saw the Sasquatch's perspective. And I saw that it was funny, and I heard, so there was three Sasquatch there. I saw the Sasquatch that was looking at us from the wilderness, from far away, not so far away, maybe 200 yards. And then I felt the other two Sasquatch that were not within sight, that all felt this emotion of humor, and it actually hurt my head, guys. They were so powerfully laughing, like they thought that was so funny, or their ability to perceive humor and joy and laughter actually hurt me. I was like, ah, it was hurting my brain, because it's almost like, here's a 600-pound bench press. Can your mind do it? No. I'm physically incapable of a 600-pound bench press. It would crush me. And I'm mentally, mind speak wise, unable to handle that level of emotional laughter, humor, joy. So it was powerful. They thought it was hilarious. They thought it was so funny. And after that, I heard them even say, like, we didn't realize that you had so much resistance to our mind speak, and we thought that. And then when you got hit with that, it was just an accident. So that's one lesson that I learned about their humor and how powerfully, like even guys, this is this is going to translate not just physical and spiritual, like in an emotional state, because mentally they're superior to us as well. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but I'm not going to lie. They're so much more smarter than us. They're so much more fluid in their intellectual abilities. We're more technologically advanced. I'll give you that. There's no arguing that. When it comes to actual mental IQ and intelligence and working intelligence, it blows right out of the water. They're triply as smart, probably smarter than chimpanzees have better working intelligence than we do, and I bet you Sabe is going to be even above that. But now we can start, since their humor is more. I'm a laughing. I love to laugh. I'm a Jim Carrey, Mike Myers. Like I love comedy. Bill Burr's. Like I love comedy. I love to laugh. I'm a huge fan of comedy, and for them to have blown my mind with comedy, like put me right over the top with laughter, just shows me they're probably like that with love. They're probably like that in affectionate ways. They're probably like that in integrity, in honesty. They're just going to blow human beings right out of the water. So absolutely, they're very joyous, and when they see something that's funny, it's very powerful. And the other thing I learned from that, and this is so important, guys. Remember, I told you one Sasquatch could see us and the other two could not. It was just the way we were coming around a hill, and only one Sasquatch had to look at us, and the other two were beyond the ability to visually see us. But what I learned that day also is when one Sasquatch sees it and projects it, they all see it. They all literally share in the experience. Do you understand that? It's like they know that message, they know that's happening, they know that you're really seeing something that's really going on. And so when one Sasquatch sees it, at least over that distance, probably over a great distance, maybe thousands of Sasquatch, for sure, thousands of Sasquatch, who anybody who's tuned into that frequency, because I know they can remote speak thousands of miles for sure. So to have significant evidence to substantiate that. So when one Sasquatch sees it and projects it out there, they all see it and know it. It's no different than watching like a live UFC fight. We all know it's real. They project it and we all see it and we all know it really happened. We know John Jones won tonight, and we know how because we saw it live. It's the same thing with the Sasquatch, except this is done through mind speak. You know how powerful that is? And that's absolutely astonishing, amazing. And it's it should blow your mind how that can just, wow, like that is so amazing. So thank you, Andy. Hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it because I'm having lots of fun. Question from Haplo Blank. I was wondering your thoughts on Sasquatch burial habits and rituals. Since we haven't found any bodies, I would assume they have some yeah, absolutely they do. Hmm. I just don't know. I just have no idea at all. Nothing. Like burial I know what the native people do, so do you. You can look it up. Maybe it's similar. I don't have a leg to stand on with that. I have absolutely no knowledge of that whatsoever. So how come so many skeptics don't understand or believe? Ask them, because some people can't see the forest of the trees. My mentors taught me this. It was such a powerful lesson. And this is something I learned about the Patterson Gimlin film. Sabe knows that that information is out there. Sasquatch wanted that to come out. They wanted the Patterson footage. They wanted me to get my footage out there. And they're testing humanity. Anybody who can just see the truth for what it is will just see it. People, so I've seen it. Some people just look at the Patterson footage and go, wow, that's beautiful. It's real. And they just know it. And nobody can tell them otherwise. Most people don't think like that, though. Most people can't see the truth. Can't even, and that comes to conspiracies, that comes to that's a big concern for Sasquatch, because we need to be able to see the forest through the trees. We need to be able to recognize liars and deceitful sociopaths and narcissists. And we can't. We have trouble. And that's what mind speak is, that guys. That's what extrasensory perception is. You can break that down and deduce it. So if you know the truth, when you see the truth and you can really recognize the truth, that's so powerful. And that's what Sabe wants for us. You understand? They want us to be able to just see through the BS and go, wow, that's real. And that's it. And the most amazing people I've heard of, like Larry, one of my mentors from Nia Bay, his mom saw it. She goes, wow, I've never seen a video of a real Sasquatch. And that was it for Larry. When his mother, an elder who had seen Sasquatch before, said, yep, that's a Sasquatch. That's what they look like. That was it for him. He knew I was telling the truth. He will forever support me and back me because he knows. And I just admire that. So, and his wife, Inalia, knows the truth as well. And so many other people just know, right? You could just, and that's a wonderful gift. So, and some people have it, some people don't. Do you have it? Hmm? What is it going to take for you to believe? So, as long as you know the truth, and we do, we were just talking about that. The recent Connecticut sighting was in Lisbon. Very interested in it. Hello to Vernon. Hello, Todd. Glad to hear you know that you are so respectful of Sabe. So respectful. Oh my God. Like a sighting I had 2 years ago, I literally took a knee. Like I'm so respectful, so appreciative, so grateful. But I'm respectful and grateful of my family members, of people that I've met. You know, it translates. I'm so respectful of Jeff Meldrum. Always was respectful of John Benernego. So many colleagues, Randy Brisson, Les Stroud, Survivor Man, so respectful. So I don't know if I would like to not think I'm more respectful for Sabe, but maybe I am. I just think they're so incredible, so amazing. But I think that about Jeff Meldrum. I think that about Les Stroud. I mean, just incredible what he's accomplished. There's so many incredible, amazing people out there that I just admire so much. They're doing great things, great human beings. You know, Sabe, incredible. So, and I really enjoy feeling that way. That so many amazing things. Life is amazing. I don't know. It's a lot. Sasquatch Encounter Experience. Thank you, Andy. You are a beast. Send an email to bigfootencounter@gmail.com. That is fantastic. What are your thoughts on Bigfoot being aquatic? Oh, couldn't be so good at that. They're so big, so heavy, such big feet. But then they're so darn smart. When I was growing up way in northern Alberta, in wood buffalo country and crazy wilderness, I used to just grab a log and jump on the Snai River, and I'd go for a boot down the Athabasca, and I floated like a beast on that. So it would just be they'd be strong enough to just if you grab a log, like they could probably grab a 600-pound log, drop it in the water, and gonna float like a beast. So probably not great swimmers. Just physically, I would think that potentially, but I don't know. These guys are so capable of so many things. But and they also have the aquatic nose like we do. Their nose is not like a gorilla or chimpanzee's, if you know about that. This hooded nose gives us the ability to go underwater and not get nose. A chimpanzee and a gorilla's nose are open and the water goes straight in. That would suck. See, water can stay in here, right? So this is an aquatic nose, and the Sasquatch have the aquatic nose. That's just phenotypical stuff I can speculate on. But the intellectual intelligence and the ability of these guys is going to be just absolutely phenomenal. So thanks everybody for the thumbs up. Thank you, Andy, for mentioning that. The Lisbon, Connecticut encounter is on Sasquatch theory recently. Thank you for that, Scott. Question. In my area, this is a citizen scientist. In my area, they frequent areas of high density human habit. Risk going through choke points where they make structures and leave signs. Any thoughts as to why and how they pull this off? Well, I mean, people are easy to get around. I mean, I could do that stuff at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, is it dead out there? Most likely. And I don't think they sleep much from what I see. They do things anytime. But one thing I can tell you is if they're risking these things, they make structures, leave signs. They're doing it for people. They want people to recognize them and acknowledge them. And I guarantee you, when people don't, they see a tree break, they see a structure, and they don't, and nobody cares. That's hurtful to them, right? Or maybe even they think, well, gosh, it sucks that guy's such a zombie. He's so asleep, right? But when you go and recognize it, I guarantee you, they'll give you some respect, right? They'll appreciate that you're acknowledging that, and perhaps that's a good start because these are highly telepathic beings. So you go out and you think about Sasquatch, you acknowledge Jesus from Sasquatch, and you ask, as a good student, what does this mean? What can I do? Hey, I know you're here. I know a Sasquatch did this, right? When you have no doubt about that, they're going to think, because they went through all that work to get recognized and it doesn't work, it's hurtful. It sucks. So you're out there recognizing that, and that was the whole purpose. And now what's next? And that's between you and them, because you're recognizing it. And how many people are? Probably maybe nobody. It's that bad. It's so bad that so few people will recognize that stuff. So, and if you can go out there and see why, ask them, figure out why they would do that, and then you'll expand this discovery so significantly, and you have nothing but I wish you all the success in the world, please. Hello, Karen. Hi, Todd. Have you thought, this is from DRDR, Doctor. Todd, your thoughts about leaving gift of cannabis? Oh, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I would. I just do apples. I mean, if you have your own thing, that's cool. I know cannabis is supposed to be a really cool plant, but no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Don't give cannabis to Sasquatch. They need to stay sharp and alert in the wind. Yeah, so I wouldn't. Mushrooms and stuff like that, I wouldn't mess with that stuff. Todd, hello from San Juan in Colorado, where we have a hotspot of 2. Congratulations, your photos are amazing. Thank you. Ultimate respect for you and your work. Please keep it up. This is from Nomadic Vermin. Bigfoot Encounter at gmail.com, my friend. We would love to hear from you. DiscoveringBigfoot.org is the website, and then Facebook page does really well. I got my peeps all cruising around there, my expeditioners. It's really, nobody knows me better than the people that have been out in the wilderness with me. Nobody. Well, my children, my family have been out in the wilderness with me, so they are no exception to that rule. But There's nobody who's been out in the wilderness with me that doesn't have a bond that grew between us, a very special bond. We truly learned about one another. I look people in their eyes, I watch them, I feel their energy, I become a powerful empath. Tell you guys stuff. Oh my God. I'm becoming a very powerful empath. My empathic abilities are going right up through the roof. So, like, I have people come up to me that are very authentic, as an example, at this Sasquatch summit. And someone's telling me a story, and, he's talking about how this Sasquatch, and it was coming up to his truck. And I went, that was a blue truck, right? He goes, how'd you know that? No reason. Just asking. And then I shut up because I see how that kind of cued him and it weirded him out. I knew it was a blue truck because I could see in his mind, I could see the truck. I knew what color it was. I knew it had silver rims, white writing on the black tires. It had a bit of a lift to it. It was a pickup truck. I could see it in his head as he was explaining it to me. I could see what he was talking about when he's telling me about this Sasquatch stuff that happened. I knew what he was saying was real because I could feel it out of him. And that happened like 20 times, guys. Like, so much. There was a native that just was answering questions, that was speaking about his brother and his house. I could see his house. I could see his brother. This native man had short hair. His brother had long hair, right? Like to wear in side braids. And if I tell people that, it scares them. So I don't talk about it so much, but it's quite often, I'd say about 1/3 of the time when people come up to me and I can really feel them, I can read them, I can see what they're talking about. So I've been practicing this a lot, and I'm becoming very powerful at it. And I'm starting to think too. So there's about half the people that came up to me, I think they were full of crap. I think they were not telling the truth. There was a person that was talking a lot. I'm not going to name any names or give, because it's not appropriate that I do that. But I'll tell you, this one particular individual was so full of crap. He was such a liar. He was completely contriving it. He was talking a lot. He was around. All he wants to do is be famous. He wants attention. And I could see it clear as day. And I just stayed so away from him. That's the first time in my life. Man, that Sasquatch summit was powerful for me, wasn't it? Now that I think about it. That was literally the first time in my life I was like, I could feel it. Like, normally you deduce it based on mannerisms, voice things, or just feelings. I could see he was contriving this in his mind. He knew he was lying. I could feel him yearning for attention. I could feel him reading a book and contriving the story based on other people's stories. Like, he was just a very deceitful person. And I actually felt bad for him. I wasn't really mad. I just thought he was kind of pathetic because this is all he could do. He wanted to get attention. He wanted to make friends. He's lonely. He thought he'd come lie and tell stories in the Bigfoot world and, get famous. And it's kind of working. He's getting success doing that. So, and that's not good. He's not a good person. He never had any Sasquatch encounters. He's not telling the truth. And I could really feel it in him. And I was maybe I felt that before, but this was really profound. So as much as I can feel the positive, well, I feel much more of the positive. I'm really good with the positive, and I'm starting to learn about the negative. So, like when I talked to Michael Paul Friedman, I really could feel his frequency. I really could understand him because this is a man. This is a manly dude. And I really like a lot of old school thought going on him. So when he was talking, I was really like, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. He'd say stuff that was kind of not clear verbally, and he didn't have to speak anymore because I could feel his feelings and his the way he was thinking and stuff. So it was just nice. It was nice, and I could feel his just things that he was having trouble with, and tried to help him along a little bit with that and give him some more confidence and show gratitude for him coming out and speaking at the conference because he's got some really cool, important messages. So there's a couple more questions here, guys. 2 ways to document your encounter. Thank you so much for that, Andy. Appreciate that going up. What do you think about the average lifespan of a healthy Sasquatch? So we talk about that a lot. And I don't know. It's a lot. We talked about, I'm going to the next one. Pine beetles got it. Oh my God. Look at all these questions. Ashley's going to kill me. I'm scooching down way to the bottom. Okay. And I'll just do a couple from the bottom. What is your stance on Sasquatch being extraterrestrial? Whoa! Actually, I don't mind that question because I have an answer. If anybody's extraterrestrial, we are. The theory, thousands of years ago, something tremendous happened where Homo sapiens popped up, and Lloyd Pyle talked about that, about how this enormous change happened that just couldn't be a genetic variation. So Lloyd Pyle, and I appreciate Lloyd Pyle. He's passed away, and I'm going to talk about him because I looked at his research and I really I appreciated it. That aliens bred into us, and I can see it. There was such a huge change, and now a new because there's really no theory other than Lloyd Pyle's is even anything plausible. Now the other theory that I'm liking though is mushrooms. People started eating mushrooms, and it started blowing up in our mind and expanding our mind so dramatically that change took place. So now I'm kind of gravitating towards that one, not as much as Lloyd Pyle's. But my point with this is, if anybody's got alien to this planet and doesn't fit in indigenously anymore, it's us. Sasquatch are so indigenous, man. They're so built for this. Remember, we only survive because of our technology. Without it, we're toast. Sasquatch survive like bears and deers and squirrels, like they live perfect in the ecology. Why would I think anything extraterrestrial about them? All they're doing that's exceptional is they're expanding spiritually so deeply, and that just makes sense to me because it's so darn well connected to nature. Through nature is really where you expand brilliantly and spiritually, connecting to the trees and knowing about the light and the chloroplasts and the plants and the animals, all that good nature connecting to the earth. People are freaking earthing at home, grounding. I'm going to start doing that when I'm not out in the wilderness because we're so built to be we're decently built to be connected, but Sasquatch never left. They don't wear shoes, man. They can't knock ground. They don't know what it's like. I actually saw a Sasquatch once jump over an asphalt biking trail because he didn't want to step on it. I literally a sighting I had where Sasquatch, I saw him put his foot on, he took 2 steps and disappeared, came boom and jumped right over the asphalt trail. He couldn't take 2 steps on that disgusting piece of civilization. It stung him. How awesome is that? So my answer is, if anybody's extraterrestrial, it's me and you and us, not them. So that's my thoughts and that's my perspectives on that question. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Live show next week. New videos coming out. Cool new stuff. I'm gonna keep this YouTube page rolling. I'm gonna work on my social media a lot. Even though so much not my thing, I do well with it. But we need to get the word out, guys. And I'm asking y'all for help on that. Talk about me. Talk about this discovery process. Talk about the movie. Really put it out there. Comment a lot. Like help. When I want this discovery to move forward, I want to hit pop culture hard. I want to go, and I am going to go do those big podcasts again. I'm going to do those big shows. I'm going to go after something real, but I always have to attract it. So I want you all thinking about that big thing that's coming for this discovery process. Because I'll tell you, man, I get on Mr. Beast, I do Joe Rogan show, something like that. This is going to explode. This is going to blow up. Imagine, so theoretically, Joe Rogan, go on a show, smoke him like I will, like I smoke everybody because I spent thousands of days in the backcountry wilderness and I know my stuff backwards, forwards, and sideways. That's why I'm alive. And my expeditioners live every single time. In fact, we all thrive. So I smoke that interview, take Joe Rogan or Mr. Beast out, show him a Sasquatch. This discovery literally explodes. 100 discovering Bigfoot research centers happen. You know, money and production value and research dollars so come into it and so flow. I actually perceive in the future, I'll only be able to take out I'll take out Dwayne Johnson and Brad Pitt and Joe Rogan and just celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, podcaster, YouTuber. I'll take all these people out and show them the reality of what's going on here and blow this whole planet right up with the exceptional truth that this species exists and what's it going to take to to push this discovery to the next level. And I'm ready now. I'm so ready. I wasn't ready before. The media and stuff that was before, it did great and I'm really happy with it. I've never been ready like this before. I am so ready. Sabe is ready. So let's shake it up. Let's tear this thing. Who's next? Russell Brand? And I'm gonna do it, right? It's gonna happen. The word's out there, little people are talking, you know, Megan Fox and, Martha Stewart bumping and Snoop Dogg. I'm not even kidding about this stuff. These things are very serious realities, and I'm just one step away from these huge people. And once we explode that next level, there'll be no turning back. And you guys will be like, he said he was going to do it, and he did it. And all I'm going to do is take out powerful, powerful people, show them the reality of this species, and explode this discovery to the next level. And I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to have you on board. Thank you so much for tuning into my show today. Lots more to come. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye for now.